Hi there, exiles. Welcome to my new video in which I'll be going over the progress of my SRS character in SSF Path of Exile Temporary League. So, my character got to level 94 since, pardon me, since my last week's update. We've got a few more levels, and the way that I spent my points since the last video I did was the last 4 points went basically into, first of all, finishing the Bloodless cluster, which gives us more life and also prevents enemies from leeching from us, and then the next 2 points I have put into elemental resistances cluster, which gives us, this one gives us 10% reduced elemental ailment duration on you, which we don't care so much about, as we've got elemental ailment immunity from other sources, but we do care about the 10% reduced effect of chill and shock. Well, not shock because you're immune to shock, but the 10% reduced effect of chill is really good. In here we get another 20% reduce of chill on you, and then our next point would be +1 to all maximum elemental resistances and reduced effective chill on you. So through here we get 50%, that's 20, 20 and 10, yeah, 50. So almost you know, half a reduction. We reduce the effective chill to us by half, which is massive, and this is usually the last thing I'll go for as long as it, you know, as far as elemental ailment immunity goes. The first one would be freeze. That would be the most important one. Freeze and chill, as well as reduce the effect of curses on you. That's not an ailment, but I put it in the same group as defensively. It is kind of like the same group of modifiers that you are trying to achieve for your character. And after this, what I value most would be poison immunity, immunity to burn, and then last would be reduced effective chill. So after this, what I'll do is, so this will be 95 from here, from this mastery. I'm tempted to get well, probably you cannot be maimed and hindered would be quite useful, because being hindered, especially on pretty much any character, but especially on characters that rely on having fast mobility, getting hindered really cripples you in the way that you can react to what the game throws at you. Also, you can get corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you as well, which is massive. But probably actually until you find the corrupted blood immunity duo, which by the way I have managed to find. I did get it on a lucky vow orb. I'm gonna go over what I've got in terms of gear, and what finds I have got in terms of gear as well, and currency in the second part of the video. So my plan for the skill point allocation, so once we get that, and that we're going to be in level 96, which gives us another 4 levels, because we potentially will be getting that character to 100, because it is a really comfy character. We may at some point actually transition it to poison SRS, because at the moment this version is a hit and ignite based SRS, so we are the main source of damage is the physical that gets converted to fire damage, and that from the fire damage we do get pretty regular ignites on enemies. So this is how we're dealing damage, and if I do find a few key uniques and a few jewels, I may decide to transition to the poison version, but I'm not sure, because ideally for poison version you want maybe to be either ascendant or necromancer, although you can definitely do this as this class as well. But if I want, I'm not really sure whether I'll keep it as a hit-based SRS, or I'll transition to poison based one. But I'll definitely will be trying to get the character to 100, because we do have it's always part of the grinding grand goals type of achievement. One of the sub achievements is get a level 100 character, so I think I'll definitely get it on this one. So the last 4 points would be dual socket. So we get 2 here, 2 here, and potentially we have another 2. But then if we want to get another 2, we may have to sacrifice 2 points. So I'm thinking, depending on what gear I get, maybe I can sacrifice 2 of those nodes. And if I get, it just depends really if I get it, because if I do get a really insane duo, 4-star duo, possibly with a good corruption, it would definitely be worth swapping some life for another duo sockets. Plus in term, no, that's strand. Oh, that is actually 10 intelligence, but we'll be getting that socket anyway, so that doesn't matter. We'll just be getting the duo. But yeah, this is the plan for the character in terms of point allocation. It's 94, as I said already. We've completed the Atlas, so the progression of the character in terms of skill point allocation is definitely slowed down. But we've got a lot of room of progression when it comes to the gear. I do have gear that allows me to run, to farm 14, 15, and 16, tier 14, 15, and 16 maps comfortably, pretty much without ever dying. But I do want, because before I start XPing again, I wanted to grind a lot of low tier maps to get essences, because I want to definitely improve my gear before I start XPing. As once I starting going into leveling, I don't want to die, so I do definitely want to upgrade my gear before I start running tier 14s, 15s, 16s, and try to do bosses. So at the moment, this gear that I'm gonna go over in just a second allows me to go to lower tier maps really quickly. So basically I'll bounce between tier 1s and tier 2s. So after I run all my tier 1s, which are a good layout, which is basically I just run strands and maybe terraces. So once I run out of these maps, I'm gonna bounce to running alleyways and crimson temples. And then once I finish all of them, by that time I hopefully should have got, some tier 1s, and then I'll run them again and so on until I, pardon me, until I get enough essences. Basically, the only reason that we are running the maps is currency, which is just, bubblegum currency that you get from just running the maps, then doing your essence mechanic, and we also are running the harbinger mechanic. We're expecting to that. So each map we've got one additional harbinger, one additional strong box as well, plus the additional essences. And the strong boxes give us give us a lot of things: currency, cards, and potentially 6 links. As you can see, this link, I've got quite a few 5 links and quite a few 6 links. I've got 1, 2, 3 6 links here. I've got, well, I did get a tabula rasa from an Into the Void card, but I've also got 1, 2, and 3 more 6 links, which they're all corrupted. They're not great, and obviously you can change the, you can change the color, but you need to spend fuses plus Vow Orbs as well. So if you do want to make, minor changes to your colors, you can do that. But even if it's, shitty bases and stats, it's still better than a tabula if you can fit the colors, you know, to your gems. It's still better than a tabula. And this one actually is a really cool find. It's a 6-link astral plate with 6 off colors. I don't know what the probability of this is, but I think I've, pardon me, I think I've used up all my RNG for this link, because this is super, super rare. And yeah, so I don't think I'll be using any of the 6 links for this character, but I did actually I did get a 6 link for that guy as well. We've got a Triumphant Lamellar level 82, so it can roll the 2nd highest tier of suppression, and it's not the ideal base. The ideal base would be where are they? Would be a full dragon scale. I've got 1/5 link. I've got another 1/5 link which I'm wearing, and then I've got an level 86 one which can roll the high suppression, and I've managed to 6-socket it but not 6-link it so far. So I'll be putting most of my fuses, all of my fuses, I mean, into that one, and I'll just try to roll it. But the current gear that I've got is the Dragon Scale Doublet with 17% chance to suppress spell damage, crafted life, lightning resist, some fire resist, which I don't really need because I'm well overcapped on this. The +1 level of all minion skill gems helmet with 15 intelligence, which I need. Low increased armor and energy shield throw, and very low life, and some cold resistance. The gloves, dual resist, maximum life, minion deal 15% increased damage. They're pretty decent, but again, I can get much better gloves that I can craft suppression on, because I can't craft suppression on this base. This base I've had since pre-maps, and I just want the same thing but with you know, higher modifiers, and I want the base to be obviously not evasion and energy shield, but evasion and armor base. The wand, that will be the last thing to upgrade, because I'll need to have a realistic a realistic chance to get a better wand. I'll need to fracture a wand with a +1. So I managed to find this one off the ground as it is. I've not crafted it. So it's got +1 to level 4 minion skill gems. Minions have 32.7 to accuracy rating, and the minions have 20% increased attacking cast speed. And plus it's got a suffix slot, so we can craft the trigger. Potentially, I think the one I've got at the moment gives me more damage, but I'd actually need to put this one into POE to see which one gives you more damage. But I don't think, even if that one is more, I don't think that would be much more. But anyway, what I'll need to do is I'll need to get the +1 level of minion skill gems fractured, for which I'll need to get a fracturing orb, which is super rare so far. I've only managed to get 2 fracturing shards, and obviously it's a 25% chance, so you're not even guaranteed you'd get it on the first one. And I don't think I'll be able, you know, think we're already almost at the 1 point mark, and although I've only played this character for about less than 2 weeks. It's been 4 weeks since the league started, but I only started the character about 10 days into the league, and then I've not actually been playing that much. Last week I only played like 2 days. The rest of the week I just wanted to watch movies or just chill out with the wife, so I've not really played a lot. But yeah, the ideal one should be if we manage to hit the +1 level modifier, get it fractured, and then spam Essence of Fear, hoping to hit +1 to level 4 fire skill gems, because SRS is a fire and also minion attack gem. So we get +2 to all gems, and we'll get also the native roll of increased damage, and then we want to obviously have the suffix. But I don't think other than, I mean, I can keep spamming, you know, I can save all my Access of Fear, which I'll potentially do at some point, and just keep spamming them, but the chance of hitting both +1s are, I think, extremely low. So to have any sort of really chance of getting the upgrade, the first thing could be to get the Fracture on a +1. But yeah, I may never get it, realistically, because, you know, it's SSF, it's RNG, so if we get it, we get it. We'll be super happy. If we don't, I mean, realistically, I can do pretty much. I'm sure that I'll be able to do most content with that. Not deathless, but I think I'll be able to do at least without, you know, maybe I won't be able to do, you know, Uber content, but I think the Pinnacle bosses, the regular versions of the Pinnacle bosses, I should be able to do with that one. So the wand would be the last upgrade. In terms of a shield, I managed to get this one, which is, it's got a +1 to level of minion skill gems, which is the main modifier that we're interested in the shield slot for a minion build. And it's also got minions deal 38% damage, and minions have got 30% to all elemental resistance, +2, you know, the 32% fire resistance and very low lightning resistance, but still something. It still plugs in, you know, and we can craft life on it. So ideally this would be our at least early end game shield. We'll try to get something better with +1 to all minion skills. We'll basically want the same thing, but with higher modifiers when it comes to minions damage. In terms of suffixes, if I can get away without the resistances, that would be great, because I can get maybe additional chance to block or something else useful. But that depends on how much resistance I can get on the rest of my gear. So ideally, because we are sacrificing you know, evasion base for the shield, we're wanting to go for the fossilized period shield. Ideally, we just want to get like either damage oriented stats or something like plus block, because we are sacrificing you know, the suppression that we can potentially get on a evasion and armor hybrids, so we just want to get more damage out of the shield. For this one, I've managed to roll this, which I'm reluctant to roll over because it's, you know, SSF. Plus I've got quite a few other oh no, shoot, I actually vendored them because they were level 85. Yeah, I need to get, I had like just a full tap of dragon scales, but I vendored them. But yeah, I can get more once I start running, you know, hard tier maps. But we managed to get this one with tier 2 suppression, tier 1 cold resistance, and we want ideally to annul the increased stun and block recovery. Then we will craft suffixes cannot be changed, and we will scour the item to get rid of the maximum mana. Although, do I even need to do that? I mean, the mana is not that bad, because the build is definitely... It's not struggling on mana now, but when I transition to a 6-link, I think that I may be struggling for mana. So potentially that might be actually great. So I don't need to scour it, but... Ideally, I want to annul the increased stun and block recovery because I'm immune to stun anyway. That's one. Do I actually have got... no, I don't have. I used up my annul. So that should be one potential way. We would annul the increased stun and block recovery. And what we craft... There's a few ways that we can go about it. If I want to keep the maximum mana, I'll just... If you want to keep the mana, I'll just need to exalt it 2 times, which I can do because I've not been playing a lot, but I've been just chaining maps super quickly, so I've been getting some currency. So we can exalt it twice. Hopefully increased, if we manage to annul the increased stun and block recovery. Well, if we don't, if we annul the suppress spell damage instead, the item is brick, so we need to start rolling again. If we annul the cold resistance, that would be not ideal because it's tier 1 resistance, which we need, by the way, because we are a little bit low on cold resistance. So yeah, if I to be honest, if I annul the cold resistance, I'll probably start rolling again. So the only annul, the only thing that we can annul that will make us to keep rolling would be either the increased stun and block recovery, which would be ideal, or the maximum mana. If we annul the mana, we'll annul again, and if it's the increased stun and block recovery, then we can... what can we actually craft as a suffix? Suffix, there is actually quite a few interesting ones. We can get block spell damage, maximum life, maximum mana. This one, 3000 armor during soul game activation would be really good because we've got vow skills on pretty much all the time when we're clearing really quick. So yeah, there's a good chances. Oh, actually, wait. This should be the prefixes. I'm looking for suffixes. The suffixes that we can get, which would be good, would be... other than, we can get cows. We can get 60% increased attributes, which will allow us to get rid of a point on the skill tree that we have to invest into intelligence without having to roll better intelligence on other items. Recover mana and energy shoot when you focus. Not bad. 8% chance to avoid elemental damage from hits. That's quite good. Or we can just get attributes. So yeah, we've got some solid options. But that's not the ideal chest, but I just wouldn't let myself roll over it. This one I managed to roll, but I've not been managed to 5 or 6 link it. If I manage to 5 link it, I'll definitely go just with that. It's not tier 1 spell suppression, but we've got tier 2 life. We've got pretty low tier 4 physical damage reduction, and then low fire resistance. But because it's SSF, and the fact is that you've got 4 relevant mods on the same item, yeah, 2 of them are, lower rolls that ideally what I wanted, but the chance of getting, 4 relevant rolls, high spell suppression, high life, plus the other 2, makes me not want to reroll it. So for now, all I'm gonna do is I'll invest fusings into trying to at least 5 link this one. I'll find more. Actually, wait. I'll keep rolling on, because now I've also got 6 link, as I showed you. So this is gonna be my next try, because I'll just try to get a better armor. I'll try to get something with very high life and tier 1 suppression, because we can roll over tier 2 now, because we managed to get it on 2 other armors, which will keep us back up. The next 2 things that I'm gonna start rolling on is, I'm happy with the shield. that I can swap into, and I also managed to get a +1 level to all fire skill gems with some dexterity, maximum energy shields, and plus intelligence, which I need for the build. I also managed to get this ring, which has got tier 2 to all elemental resistances. Tier 1 gain life per enemy killed, which I believe would work for a minion build because it doesn't say that you need to kill the enemy, it just says you gain life per enemy killed, and 60% decreased cast speed. So and it's got low maximum life, but what we want to do for this one is we'll craft suffixes cannot be changed, we'll scour off the life, and then we can potentially craft again suffixes cannot be changed, and once we get a Veiled Chaos, we would hit it with that and see what we can get. And potentially that would be one of my endgame rings, because the current ones are not too good. That's got higher increased movement speed, which is not ideal. You ideally want increased attack and cast speed of minions, but movement speed is still good. Tier 4, but still, you know, it's relevant, but not ideal. Then fire resist, then dexterity, which we kind of need, because we definitely need the dexterity, so that may make it a little bit hard to replace it. What's our highest dexterity requirement? 98. Yeah, so we definitely... Yeah, we're actually at exactly the amount of dexterity that we need. So we need at least 42 dexterity. Okay, so that would be actually a difficult one to... what we need to do is we need to craft another bone ring using the essences that give us the dexterity. Essence of Sorrow. Yeah, we need to craft it on... I actually managed to get a bone ring with an influence, so we'll probably craft it on that one. I can't actually remember if there was anything relevant on that influence attribute list. I may just roll it on a normal bone ring, or I may actually do it on a vermilion ring as well. Depends how much... I'll need to test bosses, because I've never really done any high bosses, so if I can swap bone ring for a vermilion ring, or maybe I'll just swap the vermilion ring just for mapping, and then if I'm doing some bosses, swapping a bone ring again, so I may have to craft both. Because you want to be tankier. I mean, you don't really, for regular mapping, you don't really need all that damage, because at least in my case, I would value the added survivability of a vermilion ring. More because I'll be trying to obviously level to 100, so we definitely don't want to be dying. And then the other ring is going to be unset, because once we get a 6th link, we've got... Actually, no, wait. I'm getting baited. I did... Oh, yeah. Actually, won't need to swap to an unset ring. Because I had clarity in here, but what did I change? It's great. Oh yeah, instead of clarity here, I had life tab, but then I actually am doing fine on mana. I tested how would I be able to cast the skills without life tab, and I was doing fine. I don't know how it's gonna look, although when I swap to a 6th lane, the mana cost would go up, so I may actually need to move the clarity to an unset ring to get life tap in here again. I actually need to do that. So yeah, it made it to be some combination of an unset ring and a bone ring for bosses, and just for normal mapping into a vermilion ring. And I also managed to get a gold amulet with with a shaper influence, which but I think it would be really difficult to utilize because I need quite a lot of intelligence. I'm even needing to anoint an intelligence passive, so that may be a little bit of a tall order, but we'll see. Other than that, I found a fracture convening quant with 25% cast speed, which I suppose should be the one. If I've got any leftover fear essences, I'll spam them on that one. I also got another fractured one, but that one has got minions have got 21% to critical strike multiplier, tier 4. Not too great for my build. But yeah, that's what my plan should be in terms of gear. So what I'm doing is I'm just farming really quickly low tier maps, in the process acquiring, all kinds of goodies. I've not got something super rare, but I did manage to get an Enlighten, an Enhance, a Synthesized Abyssal Scepter with 5% chance to gain endurance chance on kill. We got Awaken Control Destruction of a Maven Witness boss. We've got quite a few +1 wands, some other good wands, some +1 amulets, +1 shield, some just random. Oh, we managed to get a gloves with curse enemies with elemental weakness on hit, some other corruptions, some fractured items with either nice bases or some nice fractured stat, some just random influenced items that I can use for later builds, some 86 bases, some fossils, which we haven't started using because we need to start delving to get a lot more, but we'll do that later on in the progression. Right now I'm just trying to amass essences. This is how I want to kickstart my initial endgame gear. Once we get like your initial set of endgame gear, this is when I actually may want to go into delve more and unspec from essences and do crafting with maybe with fossils for a while, but I don't know. The allure of essences is that you just run a map and it doesn't matter what tier it is. You can do a tier 1 map, do it super fast and just go in, do the essence and get out. So it's a really fast way to get crafting currency. So possibly it will stay throughout at least the first month that I play the character, because this is just a farming character. Yeah, I may get it to 100, but because I do enjoy the playstyle, it is very comfy, it is tanky, it is relatively quick for SSF, and it is quite forgiving. It allows you to learn mechanics, so I intend this to be the first character that I start bossing on, and just to to allow me to learn the mechanics of different bosses, get their uniques, and then whatever drops is what's gonna point me to what build to roll into. In terms of Sanctum, I've started doing that. I've even got one Sanctified Relic, which is actually even relevant for me. I don't care too much about the reduced reflected damage for minions, because although it is good. I mean, it's not the best, but it's still relevant. Plus you get +12 to chaos resistance, so it's a good starter. Sanctified Relic. We got some relic effects as well. We've not done a ton of Sanctums, but we've managed to finish the full Sanctum once. So we had like maybe about 5 Sanctum runs on this character. The first one which was the first Sanctum I ran on the SRS once I got it to, once I completed the Sanctum, because, once I completed the Atlas. Before completing the full Atlas, I didn't do Sanctums because I didn't want to be distracted from doing maps. And after I've done all my Atlas completion, I decided to give the mechanic a try. It's super fun. I'm really enjoying it. It does make you learn, you know, it does make you want to improve, you know, your mobility skills, the way you click, the way you move your character about the screen, and you definitely pay more attention to what's going on the screen, and you're definitely trying to avoid, you know, certain patterns, certain attacks, which would, I think, translate really good into bossing, which I'm trying to improve myself into this league. So I'm having a ton of fun. I've done the 5 Sanctums. The first one, I progressed past the first floor, then I think I died in the second room on the second floor. The next 3 Sanctums, I managed to get to the third boss. Then once I failed it, once I progressed past the boss, and I think I died in the third room on the 4th floor, and then the last run I did was I did manage the final boss. But because it was in a white tier map, Sanctum, I didn't get a chance to get to like the second phase of the final boss, and I didn't really have any good rewards because again it was like low level Sanctum. I was just doing it to try to get some either relics or you know, sanctified relics, and just to get a little bit more experience. So yeah, I'll be doing a lot more Sanctums, but I'm still focusing on crafting the beginning endgame gear. Once I've done that, I suppose I'll start running my 14s, 15s, 16s. In terms of invitations, what have we got? Give me 2 seconds. We need to start obviously getting the 2 other bosses, the Eater of Worlds and Searing Exarch, which requires to run level 16s, and to progress the Maven we can run between 14, 15 and 16. So we've also got the Formed Invitation, so we can start, you know, witnessing the Minotaur, Phoenix, Hydra. We've already managed to witness the Chimera fight. So we do have to do the Maven progression. We still have to get more splinters for her. Where are the splinters? In here. We've only got 3, so we got another 10. And we need to progress the Maven and the other boss as well. So that's still for us to conquer. But yeah, I think it will be a lot of fun going forward on the character, and I'm just gonna finish the video with I think I've got a Kirak mission for the Phoenix, which the Phoenix, I believe. Yes, I still need to do the Phoenix, so I decided it would be good just to show you the level of the character. Not doing a lot of endgame stuff on it. I'm still just running really low level content to try to craft my gear better, but it's definitely capable to run like at least, you know, low level endgame bosses. And I'm just gonna wrap up the video with doing that map for you. So it's got players cannot inflict exposure, monster variety, curse with temporal chains, which we don't care about because we are 100% resistant to curses. Increase monster movement speed, attack speed, cast speed. Monsters have a 20% chance to gain to cause elemental air once on hit, and players have 25% less accuracy rating, which pretty much is free mods for us. As I said, I've not done tons of bossing previously. Actually, I'm not even sure if I've done that boss. So it is quite possible I'll be dying multiple times, but I'm not gonna edit this out. I'll just run the map and we'll see what happens. So wish me luck. I'm not gonna be talking over that much. I'll just concentrate on the gameplay. Also, oh man, I fucking hate the luck. Okay, we're gonna do the expedition because we like expedition. May slow the map a little bit, but that's fine. We are not in a hurry. So I think we'll go with the logbooks from Rogi Doggy. Oh, can I... Do I need to waste an explosive to get this one? Yes, I do. What else can I get? Right, so nothing too bad. I think we can manage. We're gonna pop our vow skills and we'll just kite the mobs at the periphery and just try to whittle them down. Basically, we don't want to get surrounded by mobs, we just want to be herding them with our SRSs. The SRS is the shepherd dog of this flock of sheep. Oh my god, are we able to kill him? I think we are. Are they regenerating? So yeah, the way that you play is you just keep spamming your SRS button. You shield charge for mobility and you use flame dash if you want to move across platforms or somewhere where you don't have a straight path. You just keep moving forward in the map, you keep pressing the SRS button to spawn your SRSs, you curse, and whenever you can pop Vamos and show and Val Clarity, you do that. Also keep an eye on to make sure that your golem and that your specters are alive. The specters that we are using, I forget what they're called. They are spawned in the garden, in the harvest mechanic, and they are defensive specters. Basically, they've got a skill which is like a shockwave that slows the action speed of all monsters in the radius of the skill, and they're quite good because they really give you a lot of defense. What I'm gonna do is actually I found quite an interesting resource in terms of specters, because I always struggle to get good specters. Is I did find I think it was a spreadsheet which I got from the channel of Rice QT, the streamer that plays a lot of SRS and loves the build. So I stole the thingy from his channel. I'm gonna include it in the description of the video because I really find it's super Super handy if you want to learn what different specters do, and like if, like me, you're struggling to find that information you know, elsewhere, or you don't want to have to go through like different wiki pages or different resources. It's a really good resource to have just everything in one place, and then you can go through what different specters do, where you can find them, and so on. So yeah, that will be down in the link. We are gonna do the boss now to show you the boss potential. We'll spawn a portal here in case we die. Curse. Pop our vow skills and just try to move constantly. Don't stay in one space. Keep popping your SRSs. Make sure you know you don't stay in any like puddles or in any attack animations. Try to, you know, watch what's going on around you. I'm still not great at boss fights. But I'm trying to become more aware of like the arena, what's going on around you, and so on. Let's see how well this will go. I think we've pretty much got the fight. Okay, there it is. That's it. That's the fight. One more step towards the Maven progression. Now if we go in our stash and go again to our fragment tab, go to the invitation. Oh, right. All right. Okay. It doesn't count because the map. Actually, are we able to? Oh no, because it is because we get it to Kirik, it doesn't get the Maven in the map. Okay, so we don't get the credit. Oh well, I suppose you have to drop a Phoenix map then. But anyway, yeah, that was how the build performs in a map. It shows you that this is a super good build, even in a place of someone like me that doesn't have a lot of experience. It just allows you to steamroll the end game, and with, you know, progression in gear, we'll definitely get better gear. We've got a lot of, you know, space that we can improve in terms of both duos and you know, other gear pieces. We can definitely push endgame bosses, and this is what I'll be doing in the following weeks and months. And I'll be recording videos of how I progress either on that character or on a possible reroll. We've got quite a few, you know, just things that I can use to reroll into different builds. Nothing crazy, but a lot of, like, you know, corner store items for, you know, other builds that I can do potentially. And yeah, my plan for this character is I'll keep playing it for at least another few weeks. Keep, you know, improving the gear, farming currency, farming, you know, potentially heist contracts for later on, farming expedition. We'll be using expedition to craft further gear to get more currency, etc. We'll be gambling with Gwenin. Possibly we'll get nothing out of her, but you know, you never know. However, with Tujan, I know at the moment that I've got Divine on hold, so I'm just farming some currency. Yeah, so we'll just be using that. We've got it to the you know, to the level where it's super comfy to farm on this character, and we'll farm for, you know, potential reroll, get level 100 on this one, you know, farm some challenges, play about with the Atlas. I'll definitely be respecting the Atlas, but I don't know when I'll keep with this Atlas, at least until I get heaps of essence and get character to 100, because this gives you, you know, quite a lot of extra mobs to the maps, and it's quite a good, you know, just basic Atlas. But yeah, at some point I'll definitely move things about. And as I do, I'm gonna record in a video and show you what I'm doing and explain, you know, the reason behind it. So for now, that's gonna be it, Exiles. Take care, have fun in the game, and I'll see you next one. Take care, bye bye.